This is part 2 of the video. We're on to the Buffalo Bills helmet. Originally 1960, when the Bills became into the league, American Football Conference, their helmet was silver with a blue number on the side. That helmet was around until 1962 when they put the standing buffalo on it. From what I understand, Lou Saban took over as head coach of that team and did not like the silver helmets with the blue numbers and had the uniforms changed. That's what I read about. And so now they've always had that buffalo ever since. What I understand, the original owner, Ralph Wilson, was from Detroit. He used to own a stake in the Detroit Lions, and I think at the very beginning he wanted the helmets to look as close to the Detroit Lions helmet as possible. And we move on to the Denver Broncos helmet. 1962 is the first time they put the logo on the helmet of a horse. When the Denver Broncos came into the league in 1960, the uniforms were brown jerseys, or actually brown pants, gold jerseys, brown helmets, plain brown helmets with actually across the top they had a white stripe, and vertical striped socks, which were really ugly. By 1962, the uniforms were changed. I saw that the blue horse on the helmet was only for the first 5 games in 1962, and then they changed the horse to white color. Jack Faulkner was the coach of the Denver Broncos from 1962 to 1964, and I believe he was the coach that had those uniforms changed, and as a matter of fact had a thing where players took the vertical striped socks and burned them in the middle of the field. Only a handful of those vertical striped socks exist today, and I believe the Pro Football Hall of Fame has a pair on display. Next, we move on to the 1963 New York Jets. That was the year that they put a logo on their helmet. And the team was originally called the New York Titans, that played in the Polo Grounds, owned by Harry Wismer. He sold the team to a group of investors. One of them was Leon Hess, who owned the team for years, and the name was changed to New York Jets. New York Titans helmet was just a dark blue helmet with a gold stripe down the middle. No logo. Couldn't find any information on why they only used the helmet with a jet plane on it for 1 year, in 1963, 1964. They switched to a white outline football with the word Jets on it. In 1965, 1977, they had that same football shape it was in green with white lettering, said Jets. And that brings us to the Oakland Raiders helmet. Raiders' original 1960 helmet was just a plain black helmet, and then 1961 was black helmet with a gold and white stripe. On top there was a gold stripe. Anyway, 1963, the logo with a pirate with the eye patch appeared on the helmet. Said to be inspired by the actor Randolph Scott. I think Al Davis had a lot to do with that logo being put on the helmet. They took the gold out, got rid of the gold, and made the helmet silver with that logo. Okay, that brings us to the very last helmet. When did the Cleveland Browns get the logo on their helmet? Never. They have never had a logo on their helmet. there was a logo that was designed for the helmet. It said CB on it. And here's an example. This was around 1964 or 1965 that they were looking into putting a logo on the helmet. Former Cleveland Browns owner Art Modell wanted that, and Commissioner Pete Rozelle wanted all of the NFL teams to have a logo on their helmet. Well, I want to understand, I think it's about 1965, they were going to wear them, show them at a preseason game, wear them on their helmets. And what I read, the players did not like the logo. They tore the stickers off the helmet before the game and did not sport those logos, and those logos never appeared on the helmet since. And the helmet's always been just a plain orange helmet. Well, they did have the team's numbers on it for a while during the 1960s, but just the brown and white stripe down the middle. And these were teams that began their existence in the NFL with logoless helmets. Any of the other teams not discussed all began their time in the NFL with a logo on their helmets. And the Rams were the first team to come up with that. And that was what I was able to find out on the history of the first logos with each of the teams. Unfortunately, not enough history on why they resigned, who designed them, etc. But anyway, looking for ideas on shows to do in the future, shows about preserving history, especially obscure aspect of history. That being said, like, subscribe, share. As always, thanks for watching.